So should you pay for a savings account? That sounds crazy, right? Don't they have very low interest rates? Well, for certain accounts in most situations, it can be worth it, especially for short-term goals where you're willing to wait 1 to 2 years. And considering gas prices these days, maybe you want to save up for a hybrid vehicle, an EV, or maybe go on a vacation. But let's dig in to see why. The following are not financial advice. They are my thoughts. Short-term bonds and some stocks can be a good way to grow your money. But if you need cash on hand and have short-term goals, then a high-interest savings account can be good. Most are not free, but they can be worth it. Let's look at 2 examples. Okay, I'm not sponsored by them, but Aspiration and Current are examples. They're online banks, and currently it's March 2022, and Aspiration's Plus plan offers 5% annual interest rate up to a certain balance, and Current's Premium plan offers 4% annual interest rate up to a certain balance. Considering that a basic high-yield savings account offers 0.5% annual interest, these sound great, but let's analyze. Hey, let's talk about crypto. Let's set this up in a spreadsheet. So here I have Aspirations Plus as an example. So they charge $5.99 per month if you pay for the entire year upfront. So that's what that is, service cost. Then we have their requirement that you spend at least $1,000 each month. So that's that. This thing in yellow is a variable that we're going to figure out to put in, like how much deposit are we going to put in each month. So what they're offering is annual interest of 5% up to a maximum balance of $10,000, meaning anything over $10,000 is going to earn interest, but it's way less than 5%. All right, on top of that, here in this equation for balance it's using the savings formula, which I cover in other videos, really important. And that basically says, hey, what's the balance after a year? We're going to analyze Aspirations account, Currents account, based on a year to try to keep things apples to apples. Okay, so basically, as you can see, hey, you put in $1 each month, and then after a whole year, instead of $1 times 12 months, instead of $12, you earn a little bit of interest. And then the idea here under investment is basically saying, hey, what did we put in for this savings account? So we paid $71.88 for the entire year. We put in a monthly amount, and that's for a whole year. And so that's our quote unquote investment, what we put in. And then what we're getting in return based on what we're putting in this case, is negative, right? So like the idea here is if you put in like $40 a month, you're getting closer to break even. If you put $100 a month, you could see that, okay, I'm still not getting the return. I'm not breaking even. I'm not getting a return more than what I invested, what I put in to have this account. Okay, so you get the idea. How much is it going to take to break even for each of these savings accounts? So here I included Current's Premium account. Let's double click into the service cost. So they charge $4.99. That's per month. And there's no discount if you pay for an entire year. But again, to make things apples to apples, to compare between these two, I'm putting it under service cost. All right, so minimum monthly deposit, then spend. There is none, unlike an Aspirations Plus plan, and the rest we covered before. So basically this is saying, hey, to break even for Aspirations Plus plan, like to get your money's worth, but like a tiny bit, you'd have to put in at least $258 per month. And all this again is comparing for an entire year. So notice the amount, like right here, the amount that you put in, $3,100 basically for the Plus plan, that's when you're going to break even. All right. Now for the Current plan, the amount you put in is basically $3,300. Okay, so basically we're getting an idea of what the break even is for each of these two. All right, which is better? So to do that, the idea is we're going to try and max out the benefit that we can get from each of these accounts. So recall down here, each of these accounts has their respective max balance to get that high interest that they offer. And so any extra amount just earns very low interest. So the idea here is we're just going to ignore it because basically you should do something else with that extra money. So as you can see, for Aspirations Plus account, you're getting a return of $155. You did have to put way more in terms of investment into this account to reap the rewards. So, but yet, despite that, the ROI, the return on investment from Aspirations Plus account is 1.6%. So that's basically saying, hey, what was your return? I'll double click into that. So notice it's taking, the return is the balance that you got. Again, we're trying to max it out to under the max balance of $10,000. So we could see, okay, max balance, $9,995 basically. And the amount that we had to put in, or the amount we had to invest for this account, is $9,839 and change. And we're getting in return 155 bucks. Similarly, if we look at Current's premium account, the return is about $49. Again, reminder, this is in a 1-year time horizon, but altogether it looks like Aspirations Plus account is a better way to go. Okay, so according to my analysis, Aspirations Plus account seems better than Current's premium account. However, maybe there's a disadvantage, because if you'd rather just put money into savings account, have that grow, then maybe Current's account is better, because on an Aspirations Plus account, you do have to spend $1,000 per month with their debit card, or have another qualification like a direct deposit of at least that amount. So if you'd rather not deal with that, then it might be better with Current's premium account. Depends. All right, so how does this compare to a basic high yield savings account? So on the left, we have what seems to be a better investment between the two. So we have Aspirations Plus account, better meaning better than Current's premium savings account. But if you compare that to a basic high yield savings account, let's say you're putting in the same amount each month, $814. Remember, $814, we got that basically to maximize the amount of benefit that we could get up to the max balance of Aspirations Plus account. Anyway, so if we plug in $814 for both sides, noting that most basic high yield savings accounts don't have a service cost. I mean, some do, but anyway, then, and assuming that we have an annual interest rate of 0.5% for a basic high yield savings account, basically we're looking at this amount in return that we would get after a year. So under the Aspiration Plus account, 155 bucks, but then under a basic high yield savings account, $22. So that's like basically we'd get 7 times the return compared to a basic high yield savings account. That's crazy, like good crazy. And as you can see, the return on investment too, if you find that useful, is way higher as well. Facts. In future videos, we'll cover more things around smart shopping, smart money, and more analysis.